paging through Dr. Jen's Better magazine and breaking down all the important headlines, starting with mental health and seasonal depression.
It's a real thing. While many people associate colder weather with winter blues and a summer with a time of fun and relaxation, the warmer months can spark feelings of anxiety and depression in people without even realizing what's causing it. So here to break it down is our dear friend, Dr. Gardere.
Jeff Gardere.
Yes.
Thank you.
Great to be with all of you. Congratulations on Better Magazine. And thank you for having me in the magazine.
Well, you are one of our expert contributors. So first, when you talk about seasonal effects on our mood and psychology and mental health, what happens in the summer? Because most people just think of the winter.
Yeah, they think about the winter, but when we see in the summer, you know, there's such a pressure to fall in. We were talking about that, right? In enjoying the nice hot weather, but what we see with a lot of sun, with a lot of humidity, with that blazing heat, some people are really affected by that in a very negative way. Yeah. They just don't like that excessive heat and humidity. And so, as you talked about, we see some of that anxiety, we see the depression, and we see so many other things that can happen that just don't make them feel good. That pressure to have to fall in and be that summer baby.
So what are the symptoms of seasonal affective disorder?
Well, as we tend to see with winter blues, right? People get really sluggish and they overeat and they have to stay home. Here, what we see with the summer blues, summer depression, is that they tend to be agitated, they tend to be annoyed, they tend to perhaps not eat as much because they just lose their appetite. And so they tend to have a lot of insomnia too.
So who's most affected by this type of affective disorder?
Yeah, well, it's not me, I'll tell you that. I love the summer, okay? But we tend to see people who have a pre-existing depression, people who have a lot of allergies, right, Dr. Jen? I mean, they're just really bothered by those allergies, and so it just makes summertime really miserable. If they burn easily, given whatever their complexion may be, I will tell you, I will reveal to you that my wife, who has a very, very light complexion, can't stay out in the sun. She can't deal with that humidity. So my children and I are laughing at her, but she sees that it's no laughing matter. It really does bother her.
Yeah, so when we talk about, you know, identifying something in medicine and mental health, then the next step is, what can we do about it, right? I mean, most people are familiar with the light boxes for the winter blues.
Of course.
What are the approaches for treatment?
Well, there are so many things that we can do. First and foremost, work in a cooler place. Make sure that AC is really working. You may want to work and actually sleep in a cooler basement area. Don't worry, you won't turn into a vampire. It's okay. But, you know, there are other things that one can do. Of course, staying in the shade, preparing for the summer, making sure that you have the proper skin treatment and so on, as we'll learn from Dr. Michelle. And as we talked about in the magazine, there are less expensive things that we can do other than just psychotherapy, which is great. Medication, psych medications are great. But if you don't have the money, you can find lower cost clinics. You can go to the hospital and they'll let you know what's in the community as far as low cost services. Online services are also important, and just talking about it is very important, so you know that you're not alone, because quite often people are marginalized who may be miserable in the summer. What's wrong with you?
Right. No, you're right. I'm like you. I love the summertime, but, you know, the winter blues, it always gets me.
And we have to be more sensitive to people who are not into that hot weather, and understand that we have to make a space for them to coexist in their own way.
You are right, Dr. Gardere. Thank you very much, and always good to have you as well.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.